Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I have a book haul for you because I have not hauled any books since I don't even remember. So the last time I uploaded a book haul was around the beginning of December. These books are all ones I have acquired since then. Surprisingly, I didn't get any books for Christmas, which was weird because otherwise I would have done, a Christmas book haul, but they were required around the Christmas time, and I was doing so good about not overbuying books and like trying to read my TBR. And then Book Outlet had a sale for Boxing Day and I spent way too much money. But first, before I jump into the book haul, I want to show you, like, my friend, which I love you so much, Cheyenne, because I know you're watching this, got me this awesome freaking tapestry. I don't know if you can see this, but it's like Ravenclaw, and it's too big for right here. But I'm so glad, and I'm gonna make this my new backdrop. I kind of like that. It looks bad right now, though, because my lighting's really bad, and it's dark already. So, anyways, let's jump into the books I got. So here I have 5 books that are not included in the gigantic box of books from Book Outlets. So the first 2 I have are from Amazon, and funny enough, like, back in December, I think it was, Amazon did this, I don't know if it was like a glitch or if it was on purpose, but a shit ton of like really popular books were like dirt cheap. So I bought 2 of them because I needed them anyways, because I need to read them for the series I'm reading. Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy and Lady Midnight, both by Cassandra Clare, although this one is co-written with some other authors. And as you know, if you've been on my channel for a while, I'm currently rereading all the Shadowhunter books to get caught up because I'm like 5 books behind. And yeah, so I needed these anyways to eventually get caught up, and I believe Tales from a Shadowhunter Academy hardcover, brand new, was only like $3, which I was like, I can't even find used books, like used hardcover books at the used store for $3. Much less like a brand new condition from Amazon. And then I think Lady Midnight was like $5, which I was like, this book normally retails at like $25, so yeah, I thought it was a steal. I almost bought Lord of Shadows as well, and that was only like $6, but I was like, I don't have enough money in my account. I can only afford these 2. Next, I picked up The Floating World by C. Morgan Babst. I have to read this for one of my classes, so I'm actually currently in the middle of reading it. I have to finish it by Monday, and I'm gonna get there, I think. This is an interesting novel. This is an adult novel, and it takes place around Hurricane Katrina and the devastation it had on New Orleans. We follow a family. We follow the mom, the dad, the 2 daughters, and the grandpa, and kind of their dealings with before the hurricane hit, after the hurricane hit. The oldest daughter stayed during the hurricane, and now she's having like some psychological problems afterwards, whereas, everybody else left, and now they've come back after Katrina, and they're dealing with the devastation of everything, and also the oldest daughter's mental problems. And it has, so that's the main plot line, is like dealing with the family drama, but there's like a second kind of subplot of what happened to Cora during Hurricane Katrina. The next book I have here is this beautiful Reader's Digest Best Loved Books for Young Readers. This is actually a bind-up, and it has Treasure Island, David Copperfield, The Call of the Wild, and Madame Curie. I didn't buy this. I actually was home for the weekend a couple weeks ago. So we have like media center cabinets or whatever, and there's bookshelves on it, and he has like a bunch of like these really old classics that I believe he got from my grandpa after he passed away. And this was sitting up there, and he was asking me if I wanted any of them, and I was like, yeah, I want them, but I don't have anywhere to put them right now. And he was like, okay, yeah. He's like, I just wanted to make sure, because otherwise I'm going to get rid of them. And I was like, okay. But this was sitting up there, and I was like, I've never seen that before. And apparently my grandma got it for me and my sister when we were younger, and we just never read it. But I'm going to take it, because I want to read more classics, and I already mentioned in the Classics I Want to Read video, which I will link up here in the cards if you want to watch it, I want to read Treasure Island, because it's by Robert Louis Stevenson, which is probably one of my favorite classic authors, even though I've only read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but I enjoyed his writing style. And Treasure Planet is based off of Treasure Island, and I love Treasure Planet, so yeah. And the last book that is not in my book outlet haul is Remainders by Tom McCarthy. I have no idea what this is about, I also had to buy this for my novel writing class. This is the next book we're reading, and I have no idea what this is about. I can't tell you anything. Moving on to the big box. This thing is so heavy. I don't even have scissors, so I'm gonna use this pen. I don't even remember how many, like, books I bought. This was so long ago. Yeah, I have to say unboxings are a lot easier when you're sitting down instead of standing up, because at home, when I film in front of my bookshelf, I stand. I'm trying to do unboxings while standing and holding the books. Like, the box is, like, horrible. So, at least the box can sit in my lap while I do this. We got paper! Oh god. Binks is staring at me. I think he's found a new play toy. Here you go, kitty. I spent a total of $36.41, but before I got free shipping and the coupon applied, it was like $56.41. For those of you who don't know, Book Outlet is an amazing site. Well, it's an amazing site, and it's like your worst nightmare because books are pretty cheap, even hardcover, and they're even cheaper if you buy them like scratch and dent, like way cheaper than you would pay like in stores. And free shipping, if you spend over a certain amount, I think for the US it's over $35 and you get free shipping. So the first book I have here is Lark Rising by Sandra Wong, I think. We're gonna go with that. This is the first book in the Guardians of Tarnik series. This is a YA fantasy. I believe it's YA. I think it's YA. Basically, you follow our main character, Lark, who is a guardian of life. She's one of the 4. They have to track down the stolen amulet. She also learns that some vicious troop of something is going to come and attack her village. So she has to go on a journey to find the riders of Tarnik to help kind of protect her village or city or whatever. And apparently one of the riders is this mysteriously green-eyed guy that's been haunting her dreams. Sounds like some trashy fantasy I'd be into. Next we have A Wicked Thing by Rhiannon Thomas. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and I don't think I've ever said this on my channel, but Sleeping Beauty is my favorite princess. I've always enjoyed Sleeping Beauty. It's still one of my favorite movies. Like, Once Upon a Dream is my jam, and one day I will have a boyfriend and we will sing it to each other. But for right now, I just sing both parts and use my cat as Prince Philip. It's fine. Anyways, I love Sleeping Beauty. I've never read a Sleeping Beauty retelling because I don't feel like it's a very popular-esque retelling type of story, but I'm super excited to read it because Sleeping Beauty. Next, I have Tether by Anna Jarzab. This is book 2 in the Many World series. So the first book here is Tandem. Second book is Tether, which is really short. Like, compared to the first book, it's tiny. This series is YA and it deals with parallel worlds, which is awesome. I know there's another book series, what is it? It's like the Firebird series, and I can't remember who it's by, that also deals with like parallel worlds and stuff, so I'm super excited to get into these. Next we have The Islanders, Volume 1, Zoe Fools Around and Jake Finds Out. This is by Kathleen Applegate and Michael Grant. I saw several of these different things on there. This is, I think, like trashy YA, and sometimes I just need trashy YA in my life because I really like the Perfect Chemistry trilogy by Simone Eccles, and it's definitely not the best, but I loved it so much. It's like a guilty pleasure read, and I kind of want to reread them right now, but I need some more trashy YA in my life, and I don't want to read the selection. So the next book I have here is The Disenchantments by Nina LaCour. I know she has another contemporary novel that everybody really liked. I think it's like something, Everything Leads to You or something like that. What really caught my eye is it's kind of like a road trip, a band thing, which I love books about road trips. I also love things that have to do with bands and music because I'm super into music. As well as this one actually sounds like it's more friendship-based than romance-based. We do have a female and a male main character who are best friends, and our main character, Colby, and his best friend, Bev, were, after they graduated, had this plan to road trip around with Bev's all-female group, The Disenchantments, and then they were going to tour Europe and have fun, and then suddenly, as tour begins, Bev decides to leave the band and go start college in the fall, and it's about Colby continuing on with the the tour and like dealing with Bev's leaving and like all of this stuff, and so it sounds like it's more dealing with friendship than love, which is something you really don't find in a lot of YA contemporary novels. Next I have Ripper by Stephen Petracha. We're gonna go with that. Don't really know much about this. I think it has something to do with Jack the Ripper, and that's about it. And I love Jack the Ripper, and it's just so fascinating that they never found out who Jack the Ripper is. My theory is Jack the Ripper was a woman. Just saying. Next, I have Assassin's Heart by Sarah Ahers. I've kind of heard a few tidbits here and there about this book on BookTube from some other people. I think I saw Reagan at Peru's Project originally talk about this and make me want to pick it up. This basically follows these two rivaling families of assassins and kind of sounds like there's a Romeo and Juliet kind of plot line going on there with the son and the daughter secretly in love. Leah wakes up one night to find her entire family murdered and her house on fire, and she is convinced it is their rival family that has done it, and of course her relationship with the son throws a kink in everything. It sounded interesting and I kind of really enjoy this cover. Next I have Princess of Thorns by Stacey J. This is a YA fantasy, I believe, and funny enough, I think this one is, I don't want to say it's a Sleeping Beauty retelling because it's really not, but just like this first like line in the description says, once upon a time there lived a princess. Princess Aurora's mother, the Sleeping Beauty, died when Aurora was 7, sacrificing herself to give Aurora her own fairy magic. So it's got elements of Sleeping Beauty in it, which I love, like I said, so super interesting. This one basically we follow our main character Aurora. Her brother has been kidnapped and she sets off on an adventure to find him. It has to dress as a boy because who doesn't love females dressing as men to actually be able to do things? I love that cliche. It's amazing. And she also, so she has fairy magic, but she finds out magic doesn't come without a price, and her price she paid was her heart. She cannot have anything but platonic love, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because I want to see that more in books, but anyways, there's also a lost prince who has to get a princess to marry him before his 18th birthday or he suffers the fate of his 10 older brothers, whatever curse that is. So he's trying to locate Aurora, finds her brother, they have to, something about an ogre prophecy, and yes, apparently forbidden love, stolen kisses by a thief. So next I have Various Positions by Martha Shabas. This sounds interesting. It deals with ballet, and I did dance for a while, and I haven't read a lot of dance-centered novels, which I feel like I need more in my life. We follow our main character, 14-year-old Georgia, as she gets accepted into this prestigious ballet school, and then the director or whatever, I guess, singles her out to become his star, and she becomes obsessed with becoming the perfect prima ballerina. Sounds like there might be a relationship between her and her director, which is interesting. It's a very taboo topic. I don't think I've really seen much written about it, so I'm interested to see how this plays out. Next I have Of Neptune by Anna Banks. This is the third book. I own the first two books, Of Poseidon and Of Trident. All I know is this deals with mermaids and I think Poseidon or something like that, and I am a sucker for mermaids. I need more mermaids in my life. Next I have Two-Way Street by Lauren Brandholt, I think. This is a contemporary YA about this couple from high school, Courtney and Jordan, who are going to the same college after they graduate, and they're going to road trip across the country to get to the orientation. Jordan dumps her for some girl online. Courtney is heartbroken and she's still gonna deal with it, but apparently there's some other stuff behind why Jordan broke up with her and why they can't get back together. Trashy YA contemporary. I need it more in my life, even though I hate contemporary. I don't know why I buy so many contemporary books. I hate contemporary. Next, I have Love Bites by Ellen Schreiber. This is book something in the Vampire Kisses series. I read this book in middle school. I don't think I finished it. I think I read up to book 4, maybe. The basis of the series, and like these books are all like super short anyways. I think I own a bind up of the first 3, so I want to buy them all and like actually finish them. Basically the premise of the story is we follow our main character Raven, who lives in this like suburban neighborhood, like super like cliche everybody's in everybody's business. Everybody dresses like super preppy and whatnot. Raven is the typical goth girl that like she has her friend but then she doesn't fit in with anybody else. There's also this creepy abandoned house in the neighborhood that everybody's like super scared of. They find out somebody has moved in. Turns out there's a boy named Alexander living there who happens to be a vampire. So the next book I have is The Conspiracy of Us by Maggie Hall. This cover though is just it's gorgeous, and I've like been eyeing this book forever. I haven't really heard much about it. This is the first book in a series, I believe. This is also YA. Basically, we follow our main character, Avery, whose family is extremely wealthy and apparently is part of this kind of secret society called Circle of 12, and they believe Avery is the key to this ancient prophecy. And so she is sent to unravel the puzzles of this prophecy, and sounds interesting because like it takes place like traveling around the world. Like it just says, to unravel the mystery threatening her life, Avery must follow a trail of clues from the mountains of Paris to the back alleys of Istanbul. And you know me, I love me my travel books, and if it's under mystery, like what's going on here, I would totally be into it. She's also companioned by two boys that are also part of the circle that are hiding their own secrets, and just sounds really awesome. I cannot wait to get to this because I need more travel books in my life, and like this kind of reminds me of National Treasure just a little bit, which I'm okay with. So next I have After Party by Anne Radish Stampler. This is a YA contemporary, and we follow our main character Emma, who is the dutiful daughter of an overprotective father and the antithesis of her mother, who her father will not even mutter her name. She met a boy named Sayaban, that's probably really wrong, and she begins to experience things and believe life is all good, and then suddenly things begin to unravel. There's another boy named Dylan who comes between us, something about an famous after party, and somebody plummets to their death. Next, we have Vampire Beach Volume 2, Ritual and Legacy by Alex Duval. I have the first book. First volume, vampires, beaches, something I'd be into. I'm bringing vampire books back, okay? Don't judge me. Next I have Joyride by Anna Banks. This is a YA contemporary about Carly and Arden. Carly is just kind of trying to float through high school, you know, keep her grades up, keep her job, and like not attract attention and try to get out of her town as fast as possible. God, does that sound like me in high school? And then we also follow Arden, who is the star quarterback of the football team, of course, and he, I guess, has mostly dated popular girls. Somehow they cross paths. There's love and something about evading the perils of law. I really liked this cover. I'm trying not to like have this light shine on there. We're almost there. We got 3 more books left. So next I have A Midnight Summer's Scream by R.L. Stine. I love me some R.L. Stine. So this one follows a horror movie that was this horror movie called Mayhem Manor, that when they tried to originally film it, 3 of the actors died, and it shut down the filming because they believed there was something going on. 60 years later, the studio is failing, and our main character, Claire's dad, decides he has the green light to remake Mayhem Manor, and Claire and her friends are dying to take part in it, so they go ahead and do it, and something about curses and ghosts and R.L. Stine's writing. I'm so excited to read this. Next, I have The Way We Bared Our Souls by Willa Strayhorn, and I'm just going to read you this inside flap, and it says, 5 teenagers gather around a bonfire in the middle of the New Mexico desert. They don't know it yet, but they are about to make the biggest sacrifice of their lives. When they trade totems as a symbol of shedding and adopting one another's sorrows, they think it's only an exercise, but in the morning they wake up to find their burdens gone and replaced with someone else's. As the reality of the ritual unfolds, this unlikely group of 5 embarks on a week of beautiful, terrifying experiences that culminate in one perfect truth. To survive, your soul must be stronger than your burdens. Sounds very interesting, very kind of coming of age type of thing. And I really like this cover. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but the eyes, like some of the letters in each of the words are actually people. So that's really cool. And the final book in the box I have is Inland by Kat Rosenfield. I know this book was kind of like really popular when it first came out, but I never saw anybody like actually read it and review it. Everybody just like really liked the cover, which I kind of really like it. Like, we got the ocean, man. For our main character, Callie, who has been living in the Midwest for 9 years after her mother suddenly drowned in the ocean. While living in the Midwest, she's noticed she's had trouble breathing, she's had hospital stays, and a lot of other problems. After 9 years, her father decides to move them back to the coast. They move, something about the ocean, calling to her, romance, she can breathe easier, no more hospital stays. I think we got something to do with mermaids, just saying. Super, super excited because mermaids. I love mermaids! Oh my god. So these are all the books I got. This is like sitting on my lap and it's like almost as tall as me, so I cannot lift this. This is 24 books that I did not need to add to my TBR, but it's okay. It's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts on them because I want to know if they're good or not and if I should like push them off or like read them right now. As always, like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Chat to me in the comments and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye!